Hello everyone and welcome to our YouTube channel. We make videos on basics of stock market, practical trading ideas, IPO offerings, option market, stock screening, and much more in investment products. So, if that interests you, please do hit that red subscribe button down below, and turn on the bell notification, so you don't miss any of the amazing and updated sessions. So before we go forward, get a book or notepad to write down. And most importantly, subscribe to the channel. It makes us happy, so we will keep making more helpful content for you guys. Thanks. So watch the entire video and understand the outlook of Dodla Dairy IPO. So let's begin the session. Introduction. Dodla Dairy is an integrated South India-based dairy company, primarily deriving all of its revenue from milk and dairy-based value-added products. On the block is a fresh issue of up to 50 crore worth of shares and an offer for sale of up to 10,98,444 shares, which will be sold in the 421 rupees to 428 rupees price band. Out of this, the dairy company has raised 156 crore from anchor investors at 428 rupees apiece. Domestic business. Dodla Dairy is an integrated South India-based dairy company, primarily deriving all of its revenue from milk and dairy-based value-added products. The company also manufactures and sells cattle feed to farmers through its procurement network. Overseas business. Dodla commenced its overseas operations in financial year 2015 through the acquisition of the operations of Hillside Dairy and Agriculture in Africa. The company produces packaged milk and dairy-based VAPs at a processing plant in Uganda and distributes them through 23 distributors and 11 Dodla retail parlors. In Kenya, distribution is done through 43 distribution agents and 56 distributors. Size. Dodla Dairy is the third largest player in terms of milk procurement per day, with an average procurement of 1.03 million liters of raw milk per day as of 31st March 2021. The company's processing operations are spread across 13 processing plants located in the states of Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Karnataka and Tamil Nadu in India, with an aggregate installed capacity of 1.70 million liters of raw milk per day. It also has two skimmed milk powder plants in Nellore and Vedsandur, which have an aggregate installed capacity of 15,000 and 10,000 kilograms per day, respectively. Earnings. Over financial year 2018-2020, Dodla's revenues rose 16% annually and earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization, EBITDA, by 12% annually. Profit after tax fell 6% annually during the same period. Value products that accounted for 27.18% of total revenues in financial year 2020 commanded 24.68% of the revenue pie in the first 9 months. That said, EBITDA margin for the 9 months soared to 14.6% from 6.6% in financial year 2020. Analysts said maintaining such high margins is difficult as it was achieved on cost-cutting measures. The management too has guided towards the normalization of margins. Valuations. The company is demanding a post-issue annualized financial year 2021 P of 16.4 times, which is lower than Parag Milk Foods' 32.7 times. The asking valuations are at par with Heritage Food, while at a good discount to Hatsun Agro that trades at 81 times financial year 2021 earnings. Except for Hatsun Agro, the remaining dairy stocks are trading quite below their record high levels. Recent deals, as Choice Broking points out, the dairy has on February 2 this year executed a private placement, allocating 26.5 lakh shares to International Finance Corporation at 377 rupees. On June 11, a few members of promoters transferred 9.7 lakh shares to SBI Mutual Fund at 411 rupees and 50 paise. The price band of rupees 421 to 428 is a bit higher than the recent deal prices. Capex. The company has incurred cumulative captive expenditure of 264 rupees and 48 paise crore over the past 3 years towards commissioning a new processing plant at Rajmundry, in Andhra Pradesh, acquisition of the processing plants at Batlagundu and Vedsandur, in Tamil Nadu, from KC Dairy Products, acquisition of the cattle feed and mixing plant at Kadapa, in Andhra Pradesh, and establishment of new village-level collection centers. Risks. Financial year 2021 has been an exceptional year for the company with an unprecedented increase in profit, due to higher realizations and decline in expenses, despite lower sales volumes. The company is yet to build strong visibility for its brands and increase the ratio of the high-margin milk products in its product mix. Besides, dairy stocks have hardly created long-term wealth for investors. Non-compliance. In the past, there have been instances of non-compliance by the company with provisions of the Factories Act, FSI, Electricity Act, Pollution Control Act, Hazardous Waste Management Rules. The company's audit report is qualified with remarks concerning, among other things, breach of financial covenants required to be maintained by the company. Outlook. Brokerage Ventura Capital sees earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization to fall 4.9% annually and profit after tax by 4.4% by financial year 2024. ROE is expected to fall 611 bps to 20.5% and ROIC by 345 bps to 33.9% by financial year 2024. Investors may want to wait for more signs of strong post-pandemic performance before considering investing in the company's growth story. Analysts mostly have subscribed for the long-term rating on the issue. Dodla Dairy IPO Grey Market Premium. According to market observers, Dodla Dairy IPO Grey Market Premium today is 80 rupees. That means the market observers are expecting Dodla Dairy IPO listing at 80 rupees above the offered issue price by the company promoters. Expert opinion on Dodla Dairy IPO. Speaking on the Dodla Dairy IPO fundamentals, Abhay Doshi, founder at unlistederina.com, said, Dodla Dairy is an integrated dairy company based in South India, primarily deriving all of its revenue from the sale of milk and dairy-based VAPs in the branded consumer market. There has been muted growth over the past few years and the future growth prospect doesn't seem to be much creamy. The sale of milk is the primary revenue driver, while the value-added product segment should be a deciding factor for the company going ahead. The market expert who deals in pre-IPO and unlisted shares went on to add that the reasonable issue price and small issue size should help in getting a decent subscription and may help the stock perform on its debut. Dodla Dairy IPO lot size. Lot size of the IPO comprises 35 shares. That means one bidder will have to apply for at least 35 Dodla Dairy shares. As one bidder can apply for maximum 13 lots, one can apply for maximum 455 company shares. Dodla Dairy IPO allotment date. The allotment for Dodla Dairy public offer is likely to take place on 23 June 2021. Initiation of refund will happen on 24 June while shares will be credited to the demat account of allottees on 25 June 2021. Dodla Dairy IPO listing date. Listing of the Dodla Dairy IPO will take place on 28 June 2021. Dodla Dairy IPO listing platforms. The public offer will get listed at both National Stock Exchange and Bombay Stock Exchange. Dodla Dairy IPO investment limit. As a bidder is allowed to bid for a minimum 1 lot and maximum 13 lots, and 1 lot comprises 35 company shares, a bidder can invest in the IPO with minimum rupees 14,980 while one can invest maximum rupees 1,94,740. Dodla Dairy IPO promoters holding. Currently, Dodla Dairy promoters hold 68.52% shares, which will go down to 64.17% after the listing. Dodla Dairy IPO issue type. The public issue is a book-build issue with a face value of 10 rupees per shares. Investors have put in bids for 2.8 crore equity shares against the IPO size of 85 lakh equity shares. The subscription data available on the exchanges showed Retail investors remained at the forefront as the portion set aside for them had been subscribed 6.18 times, while the part reserved for qualified institutional buyers had seen a subscription of 28% and that of non-institutional investors 60%. Dodla Dairy, engaged in the procurement, processing, distribution and marketing of milk and other value-added products, opened its Rs 520.17 crore public issue on June 16, with the price band at Rs 421 to 428 an equity share. Strength of Dodla Dairy. Large product portfolio. The company's procurement is centered in 5 states and products are available for purchase in 11 states. They have 94 milk chilling centers. Leading dairy player in the southern part of India. Strong distribution network. An integrated business model enables them to provide end-to-end capabilities from procurement till distribution and marketing in a cost-efficient manner.